South Korea versus Japan here on a map where it's all about mid-control. We talked about it before already. Mo's going to be banned out this time around, Chester as well. And those two have been the ones we mentioned immediately as we came into this map arc.
Yeah, they are the big kind of heavy hitters. Chester again, like I said, I'm going to be curious to see whether Chester kind of continues on to other regions, or whether it's more of an East Asia gravitation towards its particular status this month. It'll just kind of come in then for Feasible Gaming. I do like that as a first pick brawler. I've said it already today. I think it's going to be really quite solid, and especially into a Mortis that could be on the horizons here, I think will fare pretty well. It'll be a bit of a deterrent now for WWL if they want to go for it. But sure, for me as well, Willow here could be a good shout in terms of thrower. It's definitely a map where Ali can have some good moments as well. So again, that Otis really just being that insurance policy for a lot of these aggressive brawlers that can escape through the bans despite the BB, despite the pool.
And this is the thing as well, it's not just kind of just against aggressive brawlers. Otis can kind of have a say in the majority of matchups, and the similar can be said about Spike as well. Two kind of mid-range brawlers that can be good against, you know, the majority of things. So I like these two kind of first picks from both sides, both accounting for the aggression that can definitely be coming in and has been coming in over the past couple of series as well. So I think it's the smart thing to do. Some
safe options as your first pick. That's definitely what you want to do in your draft. Now, second pick, they're going to go with some aggression now. Max is a brawler we have seen before. Also one of those brawlers we probably won't see as often in other regions. It's always been a East Asia special. Now, we're kind of still wanting to see some more aggression now also on the right-hand side. We still have a couple of tanks open that could be quite good, but many of them out of the way here, honestly. Kenji Kaze could technically still come in, but I think in this particular draft where you have so many good options like the Mo band out, BB and Bull, you kind of just want to go with those long-ranged options. Kenji's going to come in after all, so I guess everything I just said didn't make sense in the end.
Nah, it makes sense. I was following every word.
I did mention.
I got you, Sonny. I got you. Max, Spike, definitely going to make it harder to dodge the curveball if they are running it, which still does seem to be the kind of way that pros are choosing to kit out their Spike. Let's see, it's the third and final pick coming in with the trunk, the Max. The trunk could be actually an option here to close the gap, or Hank. Yeah, I like the combination. You know, it makes much more sense that if you're going to bring in those kind of riskier brawlers, that you've got the Max to really helping hand its position. I mean, the Meeple with the Manchester Meeple gadget, but in Brawl Ball again, you know, Rage Quit can definitely be the more viable option, but I feel like Meeple's still in a fantastic spot. It's one of those brawlers that's still lurking and getting some good value regardless of the way you play it.
Hank came out last month already as kind of a surprise on Double Swooshes Gem Carrier, I believe, so Hank definitely special here from WWL. Let's see what he can do on this map in particular. Really like the right-hand side comp as well. With the Meeple, they're going to have immediate mid-control, Trev.
Yeah, Meeple has shown up a couple of times now as well, so definitely a pick that goes kind of hand in hand with this region at the moment. Feasible Gaming starting things strong, bit more control, but Yoplait up the left-hand side trying to get some control back for his side. It'll be a real tough time here against this Meeple, who's just kind of shutting him off, keeping him at range, but a good push coming in now as Drake has to go forward, and a super from Yoplait to heal himself up, but he quickly deals with Drake here, and now they start to push forwards.
Good positioning from WWL to start things off. Feasible coming back in off the spawn now, trying to create some space. Drake on the left-hand side, giving over an inch. Alright, there it is. There is the Rage Quit gadget from the Meeple. The stun, the knockback is going to be available to hand, which can equate to some great goals. Speaking of which, has a lovely phase shift there, and should be a straightforward one for WWL to get things off.
Yeah, super nice start for WWL. Seemed like Feasible were in control at the start, but it just quickly went for them and didn't go to plan as soon as Yoplait started getting some supers. C1 placed down by the Meeple now, but he's just going to continue his push forwards. Minzun goes, oh no, trick shot around the back! Sends him to the shops, and WWL quickly get game one on the board.
So dirty. Absolutely disgusting, and something that you've got to really ask yourself, like, you know, that stage of the set and the game, do you really want to be having that happen to you?
Hey, listen, it's one way to assert dominance, I'll say that.
Going back in then, and for Feasible Gaming, certainly need to shake that one up and fast, because this is turning into a bit of a speedrun.
Yeah, well, seems a bit better this time. 3v2 situation early on for Feasible Gaming and forcing Minzun to use the phase shift backwards to collect this ball and send it to the corner. Good kill with a nice pinch there from the Otis and Meeple as well. He'll throw a super quite aggressive here. the life plant will do some good work and keep it out of the way. Drake trying to get in, get his super, and keep Yoplait low so his teammates can make some moves. Super goes through from the Otis, but didn't find the connection, and a good last-second spike super to keep them alive in this defense.
Such a good defense, honestly. That spike super really cutting the mustard and forcing Feasible Gaming into a position where they just could not get anything done. Now, back into midfield as WWL are supporting themselves better. Nice gadget there from the Meeple pushing back as well. Drake low HP down to 31 here and being able to utilize through the wall with a helping hand that hypercharge. Ooh.
It's a good aggression from Minzum for a second there, but he is dealt with eventually, and Yoplait has a hypercharge super comes in from the Kenji, evaded nicely, but Otis will throw a few shots in his direction and force him back yet again. Meeple super a little bit far back there, can't quite get the effect through this unbreakable wall, and a hypercharge on the right-hand side as a nice phase shift once more from Minzum will help him evade that fat splatter, so it's all the way over the left.
Nice hypercharge from the Hank on the left-hand side, knocked back now again with the helping hand of the Ragefoot gadget. Feeling a little bit of a push now. They need the max speed on the side here of WWL. On the right-hand side. Nice hypercharge there from the spike. That's going to be a securing of the Otis, which would be the best spot to have on defense without that Meeple gadget. Can they get the Meeple now down as well? There is the gadget. Buying a little bit of time, just enough here as well, but why not pass the wall? Gets to be coming in, a fumble, definitely a fumble for me. You've got to pass that ball to the wall, pop super, bring the speed and secure it. It's still not in terms of goals. That was by far the best opportunity to do so.
Yeah, it felt like something more should have happened there with the two of them in that position, but a great defense nonetheless. Drake trying to make something happen through the mid, hypercharge available now for the max, and he's gonna just pop a normal super, waiting possibly to save his hypercharge for this overtime where they can stack up and get some big hypercharges going. Drake comes in with a hypercharge of his own, but up top, Hank going. He's going for the shot here as well and finds it out of nowhere. I didn't even realize he'd got the kill, but he gets the goal. Overtime not even going to be necessary now as WWL somehow find the goal and the set along with it.
Well, I'm glad they were able to rekindle it, because honestly, with that moment there, I mean, the Max could have easily just even popped hypercharge and walked it in. I didn't really kind of see where I noticed Mute was going to do too much. May have been able to get them taken care of a bit if they had all three shots to hand and a fat spatter perhaps, but nonetheless, for WWL, that was convincing for sure. And not too many slip-ups, to be completely honest. Feasible Gaming found themselves behind for the bare most part of that set.
A little bit of a fumble there towards the end, but WWL ultimately takes this first set very convincingly, Trev. As Orc already has mentioned, we didn't see too many mistakes here. I feel like the stats are going to reflect the same here with that Hank Max comp. They just rush down the left-hand side lane over and over again and managed to score. Beautiful trick shot there also from Inzun. I do believe, by the way, Yoplait is Nene. We're going to see when we see the stats.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's quite confusing when the players don't actually call themselves their actual names, isn't it? I think we've got a few here.
They're already down there branding, aren't they?
Yeah, the East Asian region specifically really does not care about branding at all, so it's quite tough to keep up with it, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair.
You guys want to rename as well? What do we do this time?
I think I'm solid. I mean, I've got a lot of names that I could rename you to.
I don't want to hear them.
Can you share one, maybe? With the people?
I think Ego.
Ego. I like that one. He's ego
Perfect.
today.
We got it.
WWL with that takes this first set. Super exciting stuff from them so far. We saw a Hank come out, a brawler that we haven't really seen too often, and it worked out wonderfully. Also that Max, we already mentioned, it's kind of an East Asian special. Arc, I do not feel like we're going to see this brawler much more often in the other regions.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's certainly that kind of outlier brawler, isn't it? And kind of wild to think back to sort of like LCQ when it was just running riot and the World Finals, and the team specifically that comes to mind was Papara Supermassive. They just kept being handed it and making things happen with it, and then Team Heretics always used it and never got any results with it. Now it really is much more dependent upon the draft, and now with the global bans coming in as well, it really does make players have to decide when is the right time to bring in riskier ideas like that, which, to be fair, in the current meta can get shut down relatively easily.
What I'm kind of missing so far is Glowy. It's his debut, the first time we could ever see him in a BSC monthly final. Unfortunately, he's more often than not banned out, and even if he's not banned, he's not picked up. Max still has more showings than him, Trev.
Yeah, well, not banned out here. We got the Squeak, RT, and Ali from the side of WWL. Over Feasible Gaming, they got rid of the Angelo, the Pierce, and the Leon, so seemingly a bit more of a sharpshooter idea. Leon, smart to get out of the way at the moment. Lollipop drop really solid, and as I said, in that first game where we saw it pop up, seems to be smoke trails rather than Invisi-Heal being ran at the moment. Just the better pairing with his buffies and gadgets and stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I love it. Glowy finally was speaking of the devil. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's going to be a fantastic start here for WWL. I've got to point out as well, this is a map which does favour them in terms of their scrims. I know, Trav, but just bear with me here. It is one that they do get a lot of good results on. They are top of the class in this region on this very map. So I'm just going to float that out there. Wouldn't mind kind of seeing something to be able to counteract in terms of range. I think an RT being banned out does really cause some issues on that side of things. I think in the Ollie, I think going in, yeah, love that. Go in super aggressive, force it down, and try to bring the Hypnosis into the equation. Some heals wouldn't be the worst of ideas to combine with that Ollie, so looking for something like a Byron here to pair with it.
They did not want to see Glowy and Ollie on the same roster, that's for sure. I really like any idea of support on any of these maps. Knockout, you only have one life, you don't respawn, so any heals will come in clutch. Gus, Byron, and Glowy, of course, are those three that I'm looking out for on a map like Out in the Open. Once again, on the left-hand side, we have that water, so maybe we're going to see Eve once more. Angelo banned out this time around. We have a couple of other options that could float over that, but don't have too many showings. RT actually banned out this time around as well, Ellie too. So yeah, many of those floating options out of the way. Still feel like they could just open up the map here, Trev. Maybe a Brock, maybe a Bow.
Yes, it'd be a good shout, especially we saw some really nice stuff from the Bow. Bow Mines specifically winning a few of those kind of clutch moments in the dying seconds of knockout in the previous series. Charlie going to come in then, something that can shut down that Ollie when going super aggressive. Spiderling's coming in as well, should be able to tank a few Gus shots, but it wouldn't have been something that I would have really expected on this map, to be honest.
Yeah, it's maybe like an insurance policy for that Ollie. I don't mind it necessarily. Jae Young wouldn't be the worst of shouts here, I think, with things considered, to have that additional maneuverability, to get Glowy into all the right places at all the right times, I feel. And to take it off the table, honestly, because it would be a nice pairing to have with the Gus, with the Ollie. Eve is going to be the choice for WWL. Didn't really kind of see that particular brawler coming, to be completely honest, but certainly one that can work well in this kind of map, so I don't mind it. Let's see how they feel on the other side of things. But I love Sonny's shout, honestly, of the Brock to pair with the Glowy. I think that would have made a big difference to have, you know, that brawler go to town. So bit of a question mark on that Eve. I mean, it makes sense with the Angelo ban, but I kind of do have a reservation on it.
They want to have left lane here. Charlie and Glowy are going to take over the right-hand side lane. Glowy doesn't really have anyone to heal on the left-hand side, I feel. It's not really a well-rounded comp, in my opinion. Compare that to the other side. We now have the Bow to open up the map with the Gus to support the Ollie. They have some aggression, they have range. Very well-rounded comp, so I definitely side with Feasible Gaming here in terms of draft. But WWL has still more experience, so they might still able to win this one. Keep in mind, it's the first time for Feasible Gaming in the monthly final. They must be nervous.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's got to be the case. The nerves coming into a monthly final stage like this when you're so inexperienced is really, really difficult for them. I will say, you know, there's a lot of spawnables coming off the WWL side. Spiderlings, the Eve hatchlings that are going to be able to bait out some of the Bow Mines in those crucial stages. So I don't mind it massively. A really defensive Bow Totem placed here to try and get them some supercharge early on. But at the moment, it seems to be all WWL hitting the shots.
Yeah, a good position in this mid. And of course, with the Glowy connection, that's going to be really, really tough to overthrow, especially now that really Feasible Gaming are just depending upon this Super Totem for their utility, which is now depleted. Another one thrown out. And this is kind of the strat now, it seems, with Bow. It's going to break. Ooh, don't want to touch that last, but I can tell you that because it will give a potential flank over to Feasible Gaming here. So I quite like it for now, though. It's taking care of that bush and certainly going into the next round after this. That will be coming in quite clutch.
Yeah, it's smart if they can kind of evade this last mine. It's just a question of whether or not that's going to come back to bite them. And in this one here, Ollie going to come super aggressive, but does get Cocoon straight away, and he should be going down and does. Nice little retreat there from Minzoon as well, and Mamechi going to get some shots on the left-hand side. Shigemion will fall, and Gus straight into the gas. A really nice showing from WWL, very composed, calm, in control of that round, and that wall's still not broken.
This is the thing that I think we're seeing, and going to see a fair amount today, even with the bow kind of strat sitting back. It's a map where, you know, historically, being pushed back can be a very big disadvantage because you're just kind of waiting out time and then the gas inevitably will come in. But now with the super totem for the bow, you can just kind of sit back and just get a few taps here and there, gain some utility, then go on an aggressive push. But I think the best teams are going to be those that really try to overthrow this strategy early on. And so far, Feasible Gaming haven't really been able to find much of it. This Gush shield pairing with the Otis, with the Ollie rather needs to connect for them to be able to have much chance here on defense.
Well, supers all round for Feasible Gaming, so this is their chance to get back into this one. Obviously, they need the round to be able to stay in this game, so huge push inbound from them. Hypercharge being popped by the bow. Gus got one as well. Drake round the back trying to make the move. Yoplait doesn't get the super this time, so can't shut him down. But Minzoon trying to get some shots in. Fear sent out as well, and Drake forced to retreat with that super. More bow mines being popped here as well, and they do get an equalizing kill. Another shot's coming in, and this is going to be a huge turnaround. The spawners are there in front as well, and what looks good for Feasible turns into a win for WWF.
Such a shame, honestly, because I felt like that was a great time to go in on that spring pad with the Ollie. I mean, Feasible did get a nice amount of sort of value off the back of that, just were not able to seal it by the end of things, and just a bit disappointing, really. Yeah, I felt that was definitely a winnable one at that for Feasible, and now just falling continuously behind him.
Definitely not the best showing from Feasible so far. As you said, I did like the move that he made. He could have maybe just kind of jumped on the pad, stayed in control, waited for his teammates to pinch a little bit more, and then super in. But Glowy really showing a lot of work here, just healing up Yoplait on the right-hand side. Now the spawn balls come in, instantly dealt with there by Drake, but he's obviously being seen by that beam that Minzoon's throwing out. The bow totem placed as a defensive measure there won't be the kind of best use of that. I'm sure he'll be pretty disappointed that that was forced out.
Nice kooky popper there from the Gus. With the helping hand of Glowy, doesn't take long at all for the Charlie to get back into position of being full HP. Now the gas comes in. It's again going to force out Drake. And now he's going to go at just the right time, I feel. Charlie with no utility now. Oh, what a gadget jump. Clutch. Brilliant plays there from Drake because that could have absolutely gone another way. So really quick thumbs. Now though, it's 2 versus 2. It's not done yet by a long shot. Nice super there as well. And again, somehow, WWL come out on top. Nothing Feasible Gaming are throwing at this is working.
I mean, they just never seem pressed, to be honest with you. Like, we see some really good plays, lovely little kickflip over the right-hand side from the Ollie, directly over the top of a cocoon, but they still get nothing back from it. It's like the other two aren't really, I'm not saying they're not contributing to be, but like, they're not winning their 1v1s, their 2v2s when Ollie's trying to do some work on the right-hand side, so still a lot left to be desired from Feasible Gaming, and a hypercharge still ready to go from Momomeshi over this left-hand side, and a super from Minzoon as well. The bow totem should help Feasible just a little bit, but I feel a severe lack of bow mines throughout this one has definitely been a thing.
Yeah, hypercharge from the Gus though, but I mean that pairing again needs to be with that Ollie, and he's so far away and using it for himself even just to stay alive. They do find the kill, and that is still important. A 3 versus 2 now, but how many times have we seen this with Feasible? They get the advantage, they still lose it, and it's happening before our eyes yet again as another takedown in favour of the Glowy goes down.
Yeah, I mean, Gus is in no man's land. He's really not contributing a lot here, but a hypercharge available for Drake now. Minzoon has the super, going to try and fear Gus away. Should be able to get this kill between the two of them, but a lovely kooky popper puts him in a 1v1 situation he shouldn't be able to win. And Drake gets one shot, but the returning shots from Eve won't be enough, and Feasible. First signs of life here, really, in the entire series.
Yeah, Drake has been, for me, the player that seemed the most sure of himself so far. Going there with the hypercharge, well does come back with the goods. That's what you need to see consistently and more of. Nice body block coming in, the creep from the deep now onto the bow, but still, WWL are faltering and floundering down to one player now, and it should be relatively straightforward to take care of this. You'd expect so in a 3 versus 1.
I mean, if they lose a 3v1, there's something going wrong. There's something
wrong.
Seriously going wrong if they lose that. Looking happy though for Feasible Gaming. Signs of relief, I think, on his face there more than anything, as they do manage to get that one on the board. But I'd argue they should have won every single round so far, and they've dropped 3 out of 5. So, still a lot left to be desired, as we keep saying, for this Feasible Gaming side. Still a chance here to bring it back to 1-1, but if this gets to 2-0, it's going to be out of their hands, I feel.
This is the time really to really start to knuckle down and believe in yourselves. That's what I'm kind of feeling is not the case so far from Feasible. They playing as if they kind of know they're out of their depth somewhat here, but Certainly, they've got the mechanics. And just need to work on that confidence, it feels to me. So far, so good for WWL. Just keeping these heals coming in. Drake gets a really nice early super as well. The hypnosis there. Connection is a trade. 2 versus 2 now. That is the playmaker down from the side of Feasible.
Yeah, I just don't think that's a good trade. They've been losing these 2v2 for the majority of the set so far. So we'll see if they're able to do a bit more this time. Eve Hatchling's coming in, will waste a lot of ammo, and this totem should burn down. We'll have another one in just a few seconds, though. They're quite easy to cycle if they're not broken down. Gus super available, and he throws it super aggressive there. Doesn't really find too many shots whilst it's there, but now the mine's in a good position, and he gets that kill. Mamameshi left all alone, and I don't think he'll be able to do this. Might be just searching for his super and trying not to feed bow mines at this point, but getting hit by pretty much everything thrown towards him, and another good round for Feasible.
Yeah, really starting to capitalize down on this momentum. But I still feel like it's not unsalvageable here for WWL. They can just start to bring things back into order. Charlie now has got super. That is certainly a helping hand when it comes to this Ollie. Connecting there on the side of the Glowy, on that right-hand side, continuously aggressing on Drake, and now potential pinch there with the critics coming in, and the helping hand of Charlie is forced back the Gus as well. So this is great positioning now for WWL.
Yeah, it's not good for Drake to get hit by those beams. Kind of forces him to make a move into a bit of an unfortunate position, make an aggressive move that he doesn't want to make. Heals now being provided, but some good amount of kit available for Feasible Gaming at this point. Now the spawners are there and a hypercharge being used. More spiderlings coming down and a Kooky Popper in there as well. Cocoon sent out surprisingly before Drake even comes in, but he will get the kill nonetheless. Needs some heals though, and Minzu not providing them just yet as he's staying very aggressive. Now forcing an even more aggressive position with a great heal dash away. Shimenyon should go down and just leaving the Gus alive. He'll retreat into the gas, doesn't want to feed anymore. Wants that final shot, but a super decisive round now. Is it going to be the set for WWL, or are Feasible going to bring this to a 1-1?
Yeah, this is now crucial. It really is, because Feasible need this round. They cannot really afford to be so far down against the team which have got more experience. The Ollie super away, wasted. Hypercharge now from Mameshi now, and the mines all popped from the bow. Not really too much of an issue at all. And again, continuously so, that's everything gone for Feasible. Now in the back lines, gas can't be too far away, and from what looked to be going so well, it's just now going terribly.
No kit available for them either. Shiemyon trying to get some bow mines to get them back into this. Another totem being placed, and Kooky Popper used there as well. Yoplait has a super, ready to shut down the Ollie as he comes in, and Shigemyon very low on the left-hand side. Gus trying to make a move. They're slowly getting supers thanks to this totem, but they're in a real tough position here.
Let's see, mines go down. Very much in the eyesight of WWL. Hypercharge now for the Charlie. Can they find super? They're coming too far away from the Cocoon here, but the connections don't land, so it's a little bit wasted here, as Feasible now starting to look like the healthier in terms of HP. They are down to 2 men. There is a lovely super from the group from the deep, which actually connects, and they get it done. That is a massive win. A huge set for WWL. They've kept themselves in the lead. They've avoided breaking even. Massive to turn it around in the way that they did, because they were behind. The momentum shifted very, very clearly to Feasible, and they were not able to secure it. And this is what we kind of see with the underdog teams. You've got to have that ice in the veins to secure and to lock yourselves in. Sometimes you get more nervous when you're on the cusp of something, and it just didn't work out.
I've really enjoyed watching that match, honestly. Mamameshi with the most kills here. And whereas SKC really struggled with those bow mines, now they had the constant hatchlings from the Eve to take care of them. Really good counter to it. I hope you all played also your championship challenge, where I was facing off against any variety of bow comp on this specific map. Every single time I played it, because Bo is so good now, placing his totem behind that wall with the new range due to the buffy, he can charge up all 3 members at the same time. They get super really easily. I was facing Bo Jean very often, kind of surprised we haven't seen him so far yet, but Bo, such a menace on a map like this one. I will note down Eve as my counter pick now for this comp.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looked so good for them at certain points for Feasible Gaming. I mean, WWL seemed in control for the most part, don't get me wrong, but we started seeing a bit of a comeback, bit of a resurgence of Feasible Gaming, and they desperately needed that set, because now it's 2-0 to the more experienced I'd argue, better team at this point as well. So it's going to be really tough to come back. I will say, we saw a lot of cocoons kind of being thrown out and missed. I'd have expected him to just be saving that for every time that Ollie came in. And there was a few times here and there, and it was mostly in the rounds that they lost, where he'd used that and he didn't have that available to him to be able to get that defense. So there were definite moments for Feasible here, and I do think there's a chance that they can come back, but 2-0 might be just a little bit too out of their hands.
Yes, good kick flips from the Ollie as well to evade those supers. I mean, talk about the Championship Challenge, Sonny, man. I mean, I can't run it. I was only ever using Sirius in every single map and mode, so I have no idea what you're referring to. Literally the only brawler I played, non-stop.
You didn't copy a lot of bows on the way?
It wasn't what I had in plan, no, just Sirius. Sirius. That is it. Who is undoubtedly getting nerfed before we ever see him, I'll tell you that.
Sirius is going to be that brawler next month, the final, I think, where we're going to see him either banned out 100% or nerfed in between now and then. Glowy, now finally at this first touring, how do we like him overall?
Yeah, really good, I'd say. Yeah. Really good. Definitely, it's so annoying for the brawler that you kind of latched onto, and when the map's so open like that as well, and it doesn't kind of disengage due to the bush, he's forced to either super away or jump over the wall, and it just forces so much unnecessary defense. Well, obviously it's necessary, but for any other brawler, you just be kind of like, oh, I'll just get into the grass, dodge a few shots, but it's just not possible against Glowy.
And as you mentioned already, he's super good on those maps with no walls where you can't hide behind. Now, open business, there are some walls, but they're all breakable. So one of the best comps to run here is also with Glowy. Maybe pair it with something to open up the map with the stew that we've seen before, and Glowy would pop off immensely. You can't really hide behind anywhere at that point. Even Griff had some showings in the scrims leading up to today. We haven't seen him so far on open business. First pick now on the side of WWL, we have Mortis, Leon and Ziggy banned out, a brawler that we don't see very often, two aggressive brawlers, and Leon also banned out on the right hand side. Spike's going to be that first pick. He has a buffy, he's solid, he has some good area control, and on hot zone, always a good shot.
I mean, you can't complain Spike at all. You know, he's just going to be so versatile no matter what. Talking about Ziggy, though, me and Ark were just talking backstage about how good I am at this brawl.
What do you mean, how good you are? How much we both enjoy having a successful play.
So what Ark was saying, he was like, you know, I was spectating those games, and you on Ziggy was just so dangerous that I think there's going to be a lot of bans in that brawler today, because people tend to watch me to get an idea of what to ban Ark.
Yeah.
So that's probably where WWL got this from.
Put a medal on your back, mate. Congratulations.
That's from where WWL got this from. But Draco on the other side for Feasible Gaming, it's not when we see, you know, masses and masses, but you stick a healer behind that, and, you know, there's still the option of Poco, even Glowy still on the table. A few more walls, as Sonny said, so it's going to be harder to bring that brawler in. But yeah, I don't mind Draco. He's pretty much one of the only maps he really gets brought in on anymore.
I'm pretty sure I just saw a tweet the other day, by the way, from someone who has played Leather with you and said Ziggy must be the worst brawler in the game right now.
Can you tell me who that was? Because I'm going to go and block them.
What do you expect to come out now from WWL?
I want to kind of see like a Ruffs for me. I think that's a really versatile brawler pick. We've got the wall break as well, can provide that hypercharge and take it away most importantly from the Draco. I want to see how they're going to combine this Draco as well on the other side of the field, because the best kind of pairing for me would be the Lou, but the Lou's out of play here being banned, so Poco could be that brawler. Kind of want to see how they fare with the Charlie, you know, going for the Meg. Takes out, with that Charlie on the other side, you know, a lot of the aggressive ideas potentially from things like Bull being banned out, Mortis being banned out. There's really some ideas there that Charlie can still counter, but I mean, Meg, not really the brawler I had on my horizons, to be completely honest. Not really what I was expecting to see. One thing I'll say as well here is this is a very much more of a Feasible Gaming kind of map. I mean, they do have the highest win rate in Hot Zone across this region. Could be a factor here. This could be a minute where they could actually catch up.
I am with you there, a bit surprised about the Mega. I like to pair her with a healer usually to keep her in that Mecha as long as possible. Now pairing it with a Cordelius, they seem to think Feasible Gaming is going to come up with something super aggressive. They already have the Draco, yes, but other than that, not really too aggressive. Ruffs is going to be the last pick here, so they can now open up the map. Cordelius is not going to have anything to hide behind. Meg, she has some range, but also not the most. I really like, once more, Feasible Gaming's comp a bit better, but WWL has proven before that they can win even if they have the worst draft.
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way so far. Like, the drafts, quite frequently looking more well-rounded from the Feasible Gaming side. Yeah, I'm not sure what that angle is of the player cam, to be honest with you, but yeah, it seems Feasible do quite often have the more well-rounded, better drafts, but it just seems like WWL are pulling through The first set was very dominant. That second one, definitely a lot closer, but we'll see if they're going to be able to pull from behind here, Feasible Gaming, and start this comeback.
In terms of practice, Feasible Gaming have basically done 3 times more than WWL. They have not been prepared for this map on their side, but I feel like it's a monthly final. Now, WWL have got some confidence, which, cannot be necessarily said on the same side as Feasible. Practice is practice, but getting it right on the day is what matters most in the BSC. So for WWL, they are looking to tie this up here and get it done, move on to the semi-finals. Bish, bash, bosh. Let's see how this will fare, as Feasible Gaming do have a slight lead here. I do have reservations on this Draco, with no heal behind it. They're really depending on this Russ hypercharge to feed in, to provide that Draco power.
Yeah, he hasn't done too much so far, but his teammates are doing a great job. They've been seeming mostly in control, but you look at percentage-wise, and it's actually WWL still in the lead, pretty much even now, and Feasible do eventually take it, but this Realm here, and a hypercharge coming in from Mamameshi should pinch down Drake and get that kill. Now 2v2 in the mid, Spiderling's coming in, and a good cycle there on the hypercharge from Mamameshi. Throws that out and gets that control back in WWL's hands.
This is what I want to see from Drake. Going in, hopping there for the last stand. Not really sure it was necessary, but maybe he was just anticipating more of an offense than he actually was able to play into in the end. Big taps there onto the Meg. Low HP is going to force them back as well. And this is where Feasible Gaming are really starting to get their stride on keeping everyone alive, approaching now away from just 25% for getting this done.
Yeah, just get the kill there as well. And 1 HP left thanks to that gadget. They're really locking down this zone now. Minzoon not able to do too much at the moment. Now taking out a mech as well, will be doing even less. Cocooned with the hypercharge. And although we see the Realm coming through as Yoplait starts to make the move, he's going to be pretty much straight on the zone. Well, he's not even going to come out of the Realm before that hits 100%. Really nice stuff there from Feasible Gaming, I will say. Super in control. The start seemed a little bit shaky, but when they got on that point, and I'm not even saying the Draco did a lot, to be honest with you. He used 1 hypercharge, and other than that, really not much of a showing. Just the other 2 players of Feasible Gaming locking down that zone and doing a great job.
Yeah, Feasible, like I said, coming into this one, definitely looked like they had put in a lot of time into this map, kind of maybe anticipating the idea that they were not able to get their momentum going quickly as they are kind of, all fresh and new to the BSC and monthly finals. This could not be said to be the same, as now WWL are back on the zone and already tied up in terms of the objective. Let's see how this push will fare. Drake solo, forced into the Realm as well, and it's not looking good. Closes the gap and gets the kill too on that Cordelia's pick. This is definitely a great adaptation so far from WWL.
Cocoon going to be missed there as well from the Charlie on the right-hand side. Drake just walking in a straight line, trying to get that super, and he does have a power-up as well. No hypercharge just yet. They'll probably just try and wait this one out, but actually Yoplait brings it into the Realm and makes it a 2v2 for this zone. Pretty similar to last time. WWL started strong, got the percentage lead, but as soon as Feasible took the zone, took control, they couldn't bring it back.
Let's see whether WWL will get back on this zone. The life plant there, popped already. Mamameshi pushing now to his left-hand side to support the Meg, but so much damage. There's immediately down. Draco forced in the Realm now by the Cordelius, but look at everyone else on the side of WWL, so low. They can't push in, and the Charlie even finds a little tap from the side there too. Spiderling's not going to be doing too much, but when you're out of mech, they are still quite a tough thing to have to bear the brunt of. As Feasible Gaming now bringing this really comfortably so into a set of their own, exactly what they need to get done. And this could be enough to start things off. This could be the spark, quite honestly. It was definitely a map and a mode that would favour Feasible coming in, but coming out, they've got to maintain this, and that's where I have my reservations.
Finally, they have the better draft, and they can also turn it into a win. Feasible Gaming, we have a game on our hands. It's not a 3-0. I'm happy.
I think it makes us all happy to see a bit more fight back from Feasible Gaming, to be honest with you. They really did need to get a set on the board. I think after the last one, they made a few mistakes here and there in the knockout, but they did deserve that set, I feel, from how it was being played. So nice to see them get one on the board. Still need 2 in a row to be able to kind of reverse sweep this game and bring this one back against WWL. So it's still a long shot. They're still definitely the underdogs in this matchup, but there's definitely a chance now.
The knees have won in the end. Beautiful player Ken there. I don't actually know who's hiding behind them.
I'm not sure either, actually. It's a good question. We'll find out eventually. Maybe if we get a celebration.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Maybe if we get a celebration if they win, he might kind of do a little jump up and a celebration on his camera. We might see what's hiding behind the knees, but if they lose, I'm sure we'll be left to a mystery.
I always love those newer teams. For the first time, they're here on camera and they want to show off. Some of them are only showing us their knees because they might be a bit too shy. Others have a barley on set just to have something special going. I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, East Asia has notoriously been one of those regions to really play out to the camera, hasn't it? Like, over the years.
Just to add to their branding struggles as well. Don't even know what they look like.
But, is a region that just can afford to do so. They're just so mechanically gifted, and they always have been one that, everyone looks upon and just says, wow. So going into Bounty and Layer Cake, I kind of want to see this continuation for Feasible Gaming of bring that to the forefront. It's a region that we can kind of see sometimes get nervous, and especially when you're an underdog. This is your first monthly final. Really hard to shake those nerves off. But when all you need is that one glimmer, and in that last set, I feel like that was maybe a starting point. But they've got to maintain this.
Last month it was WWL in the same exact spot where they were 2-0 down and then made it a reverse sweep against none other than Reject. So WWL last month, the underdogs, they were nervous in the first 2 sets. They needed some security first to play some rounds, to be truly warmed up, but now it's the other side, Feasible Gaming, that could turn this into a reverse sweep technically. Shade, Willow and Dog are going to be banned out on the right hand side. On the other side, Mortis once more, Ems and Chloe out of the way. This Mortis ban is something we see so often from WWL. First pick now on the right hand side. Leon is going to come in handy here with his buffied gadget. Some more speed. Leon is one of the best brawlers in Bounty right now.
Super strong. Yeah, I really like that Leon first pick, especially because he can be so versatile as well. At the right moment, you can assassinate any brawler if you got a bit of help from your teammates, and he's going to be able to take a lot of the usual Bounty brawlers on his own as well, who are a bit more squishy. Yes, Layer Cake kind of makes it a little bit different. There's, usually something more tanky, a little bit harder to kill, assassins, that kind of thing, tanks. So it makes it more difficult, but with a bit of help, it definitely works. Spike going to come in as well, and for WWL, really, so far, this monthly final has been, one of the, heaviest pick brawlers at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's not really too much on, the top level of what WWL like to play here now, with so much of it banned out. Sometimes a trunk is kind of what they like to mess around with, some tanky ideas.
You love a trunk, don't you?
I do love a trunk. Well, I'm looking for it. This is a region that do like to bring it in, but nothing so far. It's hard to make work in the current meta. That's the problem. But now I'm just looking to see whether the brawlers like that can kind of creep through with the global bans now that are in play. I would like to see kind of like a Squeak here. I feel like that could be one which would make a good pairing with the Leon. You don't want to be having that on the other side of the field. It kind of depletes the lollipop drop a lot faster. Brawlers like Meeple, like Kaze could definitely be an option here. I mean, Juju as well, considering that the Willow ban is there. She's another relevant thrower which could come in here.
Squeak is going to come in here for area control on the right hand side. A little bit squishy, nothing really against the Gene as well. They need a turret to put up against him, I feel. That's why Gene and Spike are such a good combination, because Spike technically a good counter to him and can pop up his little cactus against the pole, and he also has the damage once the Gene hits a pole. That's going to be a certain kill with Spike on his side. On the right hand side, some more aggression now next to the Squeak. They're going to pick up Kenji once more. Also one of their favorites, I feel, so far. We have seen him quite often from Feasible Gaming. 2 aggressive brawlers, a Squeak, nothing really against the Gene. I'm not sure about this comp. I really like the Leon overall, but can he carry enough?
I mean, to be fair, Leon can, still, drop his lollipop drop if he needs to. He can throw it out as well if he needs to tank it for somebody else. So they do have technically something that can tank. It's just probably not one of the usual go-tos that you'd want to waste on something like that. Rico going to come in again. We saw this being used by Zeta Division to tempo on that brawl, obviously. It's hard to match up to him on these mechanical brawlers, but it did work pretty well in certain situations.
They had Rico and Spike actually paired with the Bull, so pretty much the Zeta Division comp, but with the Gene now instead. Let's see how well they will do. WWL still has the opportunity to close things out here.
I'm not a massive fan. I mean, the Rico's been really susceptible to a Leon. I mean, that's my biggest concern. The Leon is that brawler which, it's just the assassin here. I mean, WWL have played this map 8 times in their practice. They've won 4 out of 4 times. Feasible have won 18 out of 14. 18 matches and lost 14. They've scrimmed it far more I've just got to put that out there. This could be another time where they can bring it back, because I feel like they've got a lot more practice under the belt.
I was going to say, they're winning 18 out of 14. That's some good going. They're winning more than they've played. But a good start, though, for the Rico on the right-hand side. Getting some good control now through the mid, but Drake round the back is going to be a bit of a problem. Spike sticking to him, making sure he can't get round the flank. But Shigemyon coming through the mid now, trying to get a few shots towards his super, and a light plant thrown into the mid. As the gadget, actually, it's not even lollipop drop. We're seeing the clone coming in, and it's the blue star separating them after pretty much a minute.
I don't mind. I think both gadgets are decent, but the lollipop drop for me just has that bit more ability to navigate around things. That's a brilliant lane one there, which really, in my opinion, shouldn't have been done so. I think Rico should have fallen there, but nonetheless, it is what it is. WWL now, still slightly behind. But with those 3 stars with the Rico, that's kind of like the person which I think if I'm Drake on the other side, I'm looking to target.
Pull is there. Little gadget pops from the Leon as well, but didn't really get very far, to be honest with you. Gadget thrown out. Surely looking for the pull sometime soon to try and flip this game on its head. Moving forwards now, and Kenji is there. Goes super aggressive. I mean, personally, that's not how I'd use pull.
Yeah, not ideal. Kenji just fine as well to pick up. That's going to be fantastic. Peaceful Gaming now. 7, but the Rick is still there. 6 to 7 now. Just 1 star in it, but it's straight the way back. It feels like Feasible are just really comfortable in this spawn. Now with 11. They can afford to go with the aggressive with this Kenji as well, but Meshi has the hypercharge being aggressive so heavily. So much to be done. I just don't know whether there's time to do it now. Just 3 stars in it. 16 to 12. Such a close one, but Feasible Gaming still stay ahead until the very end. And again, now looking so dangerous from a team that was looking so shaky to start things off. That first set that they won has led on seemingly to a pretty decent run, which could go all the way to the 5th now.
Yeah, it does seem in moments like WWL kind of gave them that game. A couple of wasted gene pull in there, which should have been pretty tied on hits. But Blue Star goes Feasible's way again, and if they play it the exact same, they'll be going to a set number 5 to decide who wins this one. Another good hit there from the Squeak. Spike trying to defend well, and is getting peppered down on Rico again. I know doubting this brawler a little bit, but so far it's the standout from WWL by far.
Yeah, I want to see a bit more from the Gene. I feel like if they can bring back more goods with that particular brawler and have the Spike and the Rico there for quick takedowns, swift in nature, it'll go quite well for them. So far, it just hasn't really been the same squad, the same team. Kenji there with a Shumi Slash coming in, Drake doing great work on this aggressive brawler, but there's the Gene Pool. We need to see more of that. That is like the kind of playmaker, and the spawn was just there for the Spike to help pick up, so more of that is needed for WWL.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the thing, you've got to be able to make those connections. Spike hypercharge coming in now, Shigemyon at risk. But evades some of those shots nicely. Another one thrown out, curveball not quite going to connect on that second explosion. Minzun goes super aggressive there and will go down. Blue Star still separates them. Yoplait not in the best of situations here, and Shigemyon will go down. Good kill from him there, and some heals from the Gene to back him up.
Yeah, this is much better. Full hypercharge though, we're not going to find really much of anything. It's a bit disappointing there for Minzun. Drake, low HP, 5 HP above his name there. He's just about hanging on. As Feasible are behind, they cannot afford to hand over more of a lead with just 20 seconds left on the clock.
Rico's still in a super aggressive spot considering they're winning. Gene, hypercharge available now, and Drake might get pulled in. He's got to be very careful here, and a super from the left to the right for the Rico. Gadget there, and Yoplait now at risk. Really, really low. Shigemyon going to switch places, but will get killed. Super comes in from the Kenji, but there's the Squeak hit, and that will flip it, and he gets the kills as well. Feasible steal it once more, and WWL handing games over, it seems.
Now it's looking dangerous. It's starting to get really quite scary. And when the underdog team start to find some wind in their sails, you've got to put an end to it. That was where, for me, WWL should have absolutely ensured that that was a game win, and then take it all the way to a match point, put the pressure on. And they did none of it. They faltered, they floundered. And now they're in a really tough position. And I feel like it's a lot to do with the amount of preparation that Feasible have done. These are the maps that they've prepared the most, and they're capitalizing down. I think WWL wanted it done in the first 3, and we're hoping it wouldn't get this far, whereas Feasible Gaming were playing the long game.
Are we starting to see some nerves from the South Korean teams here? They were 2-0 ahead. Last month, it was the same situation, but flipped. They were 2-0 down, and then reverse swept their opponent, Rajax, in a phenomenal run. I have them down to maybe make it all the way to the grand finals after what we've seen in the monthly final in February. And now this completely new roster comes in and seems to be able to reverse sweep WWL. I don't want to jinx anything here, but it's definitely possible. We even see the face of Drake for the first time, the knees finally aside. Yeah, really good stuff from Feasible.
Yeah, I told you it'd be when we get a bit of celebration, we see his face. Yeah, really, really nice stuff from Feasible. But I do think WWL are the ones playing worse. I don't know if really Feasible are playing that much better. WWL at certain points just seem to be handing kills, handing games over, and I'm sure that Feasible are getting that little bit better. Really playing on off the back of this comeback and, a few nerves here and there popping up for WWL, but it does seem like WWL are just playing worse to me.
That team pool you mentioned, Ark, when the opponent is right in front of him already, that must have been a misclick. Some nerve stirring for sure.
Possibly for sure. And that's kind of what we kind of not necessarily expect to see, but, we're quite forgiving sometimes to see. I mean, I think for me, feeling what Trav's saying, I think it just comes down to the fact that I just don't think the amount of preparation needed has been done by WWL. I mean, it's so apparent when you look at how many times they've been playing the maps, and this is another one that makes me really concerned because Feasible got a 73% win rate on. I mean, it's like they haven't really been preparing for their opposition on the side of WWL, and Feasible with so little to kind of have in terms of pressure and so much to gain off the back of this kind of upset, they're thriving in this position now.
Feasible Gaming did win against Fennel in the lower bracket of the monthly qualifier. After the first two sets, I was kind of thinking, how was that possible? Fennel made it all the way to the grand final last month, then being beaten by Feasible Gaming, who's 0-2 versus WWL. Now I see that team finally come out of their shell. Chester's going to be the first pick here. We're on double swoosh now. This is going to be the last map. Whoever takes it, wins it, and gets into the semi-finals afterwards. We have Sandy once more bent out. We mentioned it before, probably the best gem carrier on a map like this one. Amber and Otis, a lot of area control out of the way from Feasible Gaming. Picking up that Chester on the right-hand side, then really just picks one more area control out of the way. Terra's really the only one left open, I feel.
Well, the Mo's going to come in then for WWL. I really do like the Chester first pick. It's been showing his face a lot throughout this region at the moment, and I feel like it's a pick that has gone under the radar for quite a long period of time, to be fair. So nice to see a bit of a resurgence in him. Mo, though, really solid. Good against the majority of brawlers that are strong in this meta at the moment, so can't blame him for bringing that in. And the turnaround capabilities are huge as well, and the same for Charlie. Really solid. Very good at carrying the gems, and listen, if you cocoon someone, they're dropping all their gems, so the turnaround capabilities there once more.
It's going to be tough to play a Mortis into this as well now with Charlie, which I think is a really good draft, honestly, on the side there of WWL. Could be a Tara map also, so I'm looking to kind of see whether that particular brawler would come out to play, so to speak. Drake, who sometimes can have a moment on this map. I think Shelly as well is one of those brawlers which could be a final shutdown on the side there of WWL if we see it, and it is going to come through. Really quite bold, I've got to be honest. They've got a decent win rate with it on that side of the field, so I'm feeling confident they know what they're doing, but I still kind of feel like it's very risky when you got that potential for Shelly final pick.
I'm kind of waiting for Terra and Spike here as well. For the first time here, WWL is not banning out Mortis. It's been a ban, I believe, in most of their sets so far, targeted towards Feasible Gaming, so they must be good with this brawler. There must be something. Chloe, by the way, now banned out 10 times in the 12 sets played so far. Banned out every single round, basically. Penny's going to come in last pick. She's quite good, has had some showings also in the scrims. They still needed a mid-brawler to pick up those gems. Didn't want Janet. Penny is fine, I guess. I really still look forward to seeing that Spike and Terra now on the left-hand side. They need something more to address the Mortis other than the Charlie. Yeah,
I mean, Penny going to be able to splash through the Charlie pets. That's kind of about the biggest selling point for me, I think, at the moment. Shelly going to come in, and Mortis is going to have a real tough time here as well. So he's going to have to really work hard to get kills. I don't mind the Mortis, to be honest with you. I think it can turn around games massively, and I think that's exactly what they need at this moment. A bit of pressure, make the hands of their opponents a bit shaky, knowing that the game can be turned around at any moment, but that Shelly is going to shut it down so hard.
Would we now say finally, Ark, WWL has dropped?
I mean, a Shelly final pick when you're playing into a Mortis should say it, but I don't know whether or not, like, I mean, yeah, we're just going to balance the camera there, whether or not it's going to be the case, I don't know, because, I mean, it's very hard for me to see a way in which people don't kind of continue this momentum. I mean, I kind of feel like they might still do this season, because I just don't think, like, as Trav said, that WWL have been playing at all well in these, like, last 2 sets. They are so much more apparently the team that are struggling more. But you should expect the Shelly final pick with the Mortis to come out with goods.
Absolutely. Well, Chester down the right-hand side, not really got the matchups that they want so far, and Mortis doing a good job, but another self-cocoon then from Mameshi doing a good job of keeping himself alive. Gem-wise, WWL have half the amount of Feasible, so a nice start for Feasible with the good pressure from Mortis early on. He's not going to mind going down here and there if his teammates are picking up gems and not really got much risk on them. Hypercharge is available. Shigemion still playing a defensive Chester here, just guarding this Penny, knowing that Mo's got the super.
Ooh, that was not the greatest of times. I think that you've got to be a little bit more cautious if you're playing Charlie with the gems, and just, you know, the Mortis is coming in, it's a great counter, it favours you, but the back, the right person to have them, most importantly. But I'm just surprised we're not seeing the Shelly sort of shadow the Mortis in any way. They're really placing a lot of faith in this Charlie to have to defend against it, and it's not looking too promising in my opinion so far. Look at this, Drake gets the gems as I'm saying it, comes back out. I mean, Feasible could absolutely do this, and they absolutely shouldn't be able to.
Shigemion gets a kill there as well. Hypercharge available from Mameshi, going to be the only kind of saving grace in this match now. 5 seconds left, needs to make this connection, but not going to be given the angle as the wall is still in the way, and we'll see a tank as well. Match point now for Feasible Gaming, and yet again, as you said, there was no defense of the Charlie. He's just sat there getting battered all game, and the Mortis is having a dream.
Feasible have put so much practice in, and it's showing. You know, to have a Shelly final pick, you know, it's a massive statement. It is going to say, I am looking to shut down this Mortis. I have not seen it really be focused on that lane whatsoever. They were on adjacent corners, to be honest. And it's just not showing. I mean, Drake's playing it with such confidence as well. Good break there from the Shelly, but I mean, Drake's got 2 gems. He's not the gem carrier. But then again, I think with a Mo, it's probably the second best on the side of WWL. They've got to get their act together. They really do at this rate. They're going to be going home in the quarters.
Absolutely, and that's not what we would expect at all against these newer players on the side of Feasible Gaming. Good cocoon this time, and now just stand on top of it, get the kill. And he's still kind of being allowed to, you know, run riot. That should surely just be a Shelly sits on top of him and gets the kill. But at the moment, I mean, a good kill from Yoplay up top, but he's going to get taken down quite fast by the Chester, and he'll retrieve a lot of those gems. 5 now, and 3 for WWL. And it just doesn't look good for them at all.
Yeah, really disappointing. And, you know, our team to watch for this month could very well be going out if this continues on. It's the Penny turret really starting to rain down some goods. Drake, again, continuously getting these kills. There is a Shelly on the map with Hypercharge, and it's going towards a Penny. Like, you've got to focus on Drake. He's so dangerous, and it's like WWL are completely oblivious to this fact.
Well, Mo is there, half the defenses now, and they do get the takedown. 6-6, and another gem picked up by WWL puts them in the lead, but Feasible quickly get the equalizing one. A nice splash there as well from the Penny. Hypercharge turret being placed behind this unbreakable wall. The supers galore available for the side of WWL. Now that's going to be a kill, and he's just handed gems over. Mortis can grab these and run away, and that's an absolute gift from WWL.
I don't understand why you would favour the Penny. Like, get rid of the Mortis and the Penny would be pushed back regardless, but now Feasible Gaming with 10 seconds on the clock could well be causing the upset of the day thus far. WWL are throwing everything they've got, including the kitchen sink, and it's not going to be enough. Feasible Gaming have full reverse sweep this match. The underdogs are fresh to monthly finals, and in their first, they get the dub. They're through to the semis. What an upset.
Great cosplay too, absolutely incredible there. Good stuff from Feasible Gaming. Shigemion really giving us a good player cam here. But as much as I want to praise Feasible Gaming, I just can't help but slander WWL so many times, so many poor decisions, and not only did the Shelly kind of go after the Penny and not the Mortis, but he's handing like 6 gems directly over to them. I just don't understand how you can lose 3 sets in a row when you looked so good off the start in such questionable fashion.
they're getting a taste of their own medicine in this one. Reverse swept Reject last month, and now getting reverse swept themselves. They looked so good in the first 2 sets. 2-0 immediately, some of the quickest games we've seen all day. And then Feasible Gaming seemed to wake up. As you mentioned before, Trev, is it Feasible Gaming just playing so well, or WWL not playing that good right now?
I mean, they did play better. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking everything away from Feasible Gaming at all, because they absolutely did play well. They had 3 great sets, 3 great performances, but even with good performances, with how well WWL were playing in the first couple of sets, as you just mentioned, they should not be losing this game in a reverse sweep. That should have been a 3-0 in my opinion. Great performance from Feasible Gaming, though, and absolutely the more deserving team of this semi-final spot. Kill